Game number 2 underway here, ladies and gentlemen. The best of 3 quarterfinals between these two Zerg players. Winner of this goes on to fight Jakshi in the semifinals. I'm Rifkin, joined today by Zombie Grub, and spawning in the lower right corner of the map, he's the green Zerg player from Dignitas. Give it up for Tefel.
And in the upper left, as the blue Zerg, it is Ourk.
I love the little Carbot stars. I don't know what it is, like, because Zerg players get 5 decals, right? And I think Terran and Protoss only get Protoss get 3, right? Terran get 1. It's for the little things on the ground. Is what I'm talking about here, by the way, if anyone doesn't know.
I know.
No, not you, but I'm talking like anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about. But Zerg get 5, and I think the Carbot ones are like the cutest. I love them. It's just that mouth, I think. It's a little Zergling grin.
I have like the paw print from like buying the BlizzCon ticket, I guess.
I think mine's mine's like default something. I don't know.
That's where my panda portrait comes from. So sick.
Yeah, I really wanted to do the BlizzCon stuff because a lot of the time the swag bags have been kind of lame in recent years. Like once upon a time when you go to BlizzCon, you would get like the Murlocs here for like World of Warcraft, and that was like the coolest thing ever. But nowadays it's all these lame little prizes. Although the most recent one wasn't too bad. I kind of wish I had done the HD pay-per-view thing or whatever it is to get them if you couldn't go live.
Yeah, that's what I did. I've never gone live, but maybe one day.
I'm kind of mad. I feel like I wasted my BlizzCon experience. I went there for 2 years back in like I think 2010 and 11, but I went for like World of Warcraft stuff, and I wasn't into StarCraft back then. Then I watched like, you know, the WCS finals, and I'm just like, wow, I wish I could be there so badly. Like they've changed it, made it so badass.
I think 2 years ago, well, actually 2 years ago would have actually been like that really popular BlizzCon, wasn't it? Anyways, while this game's going on, we actually have, I think, different builds as well, or slightly different. Anyways,
well, with the openings like this, it's nothing all in. So it's like for Zerg. Like that's what I love about Zerg. A lot of people like miss the subtle nuances of the race. One of the biggest ones is, of course, their power of reaction. Like you can open in a certain way and have a game plan from get to go, but if you see a hatchery versus a gas versus whatever, you might then suddenly be like, okay, this is good for lings, this is good for banelings, this is good for roaches. Like you can change what you're doing without really impacting your tech early on. Whereas like if you're playing Terran, for example, you can't really go CC first and then like, oh, oops, never mind, I want to make units instead. Like.
Whoopsie. Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, Ourk's gonna come out with a couple lings early to scout, but of course this is very typical. You want to send 2 across the map to get exactly what I was talking about in there, to see the gas counts, to see whether there was like for some reason an absurdly fast third or what have you, so that you can really gauge on how you're gonna play this game. Ourk, of course, last time was able to go for that quicker layer and the 4 gases very early. I think a lot of that was kind of blind though and less reactionary. Playing to the strengths of what he was hoping was the map, didn't end up paying out for him though. On Daedalus Point, I think ground units going to be better than Mutalisks. There's a lot of dead space you can try and run around with Mutalisks, but of course this is a map that is a very, very short rush distance. It looks a lot larger than it is because it's wide, but it's not tall. So if you go for like roaches and stuff, one of the biggest things you hear commentators talk about when it comes to like late game fights is the defender's advantage. And you can't see me, but I'm using air quotes. On a map like this with a shorter rush distance, that's less of a big deal. It's still important, but not nearly as big as, say, like if you're doing Ultra Zeme.
Again, a Baneling Nest coming out from Ourk. This time, though, Tefel is going for a lot of lings, using all of the larvae that just popped on them, and he will be attacking, and it is fortunate the Ourk is getting this early Baneling Nest, as he will actually be prepared. He might not be prepared for the first wave, because, you know, unless
he's hitting the Banelings on purpose, right? So he doesn't get, like, scouted. Cool, I just got DC from the Battle.net. Fantastic.
Wait, like not in the game anymore, or like the achievements?
No, I'm still
off?
in the game. It's like the achievements have lost. You've lost connection with the Battle.net. So when we leave the game, we'll probably be disconnected from the server. But I have a Spike Car coming down. Not exactly too late, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for us to be kept alive. Temple is just gonna flood lots and lots of lings, of course. With a Baneling Nest coming out, might just be able to overpower his opponent. Ourk has lost a lot of his Zerglings so far. The drones have been pulled into this. The Queen's actually not even sitting behind between the minerals. I don't like the positioning on this, but this first wave might be held off, but just barely. If that, Temple, I think, is just going to start smothering Ourk at this point. It's going to be really hard to recover.
You know, if he had held it any better, you know, like the drone survived or the Queen survived, then, you know, he has Banelings. He can actually hold on. It's not like he was caught completely with his pants down, but yeah, that was a big first blow. And that first blow is really important.
Oh my god, what he is doing is so risky. Unless you guys see when the Banelings start morphing, to jump on top of them like that, it's always dangerous because, you know, you get like 8 lings surrounding a Baneling, pops as soon as it hatches, you lose everything.
Oh, Tefel's going to continue with this attack. Thinks that he can end the game right here, right now. The Baneling Wars have commenced, and these three Banelings are just going. They're leaving. They're gone. They're going into the main. Oh, they need a queen. Decide not to.
I think it's looking for drones, but there's no drones for him to kill. He could just. I feel like for Tefel, he could just overpower the army of Ourk right now and then try and win the game off the back of that. But his Banelings awkwardly coming out of the natural base of Ourk because there was nothing for them to kill. Banelings have been completely nullified, but at this point, Tefel's got more links than his opponent by a large margin. More Banelings are morphing in right outside that ramp. This is not looking good for Ourk.
No. You know, especially with the hatch going down, it's pretty much over if the hatch goes down. It's sad but true.
Yeah. ZVZ, this is your production. This is your lifeline. This is your blood.
Unless, I mean, a counterattack sometimes can be really deadly if, like, Tefel for some reason decided, I'm gonna drone now. Like, that's all he did.
Oh, the detonations on the ramp! Oh, God. So this has been brought up in chat. We didn't talk about too much. I guess I'll start including it with the introductions. There's 600 euro up for grabs today, guys. The prize pool of today. I'm not sure the distribution off the top of my head, but Go4SC2 monthly finals has a lot more money than like the 75 euro weekly cups for sure.
It's 300, 150, 75, 75, I think.
Cool. There you have it, Zombie Go crunching those numbers. Tefel on the main was just way too many units. And of course, you guys be wondering, like, why doesn't Ourk just leave? This is like the end of his tournament. Like, there's no loser's bracket. So of course he wants to hold on for the chance that maybe Tefel throws, but that's not going to happen. He's just too far ahead at this point.
Yeah. Yep. There's the GG. And Tefel will be moving on to face Jachi.
Now it's